He wakes up in a cold metal room, floating somewhere in deep space. No memory, no name, no idea who he is or how he got there. His crew are dead. There is no way home. And somewhere out there, something is slowly draining the sun of its energy. A silent extinction already in motion. He has no idea he's the last hope for 8 billion people. Back on Earth, something terrifying is happening. Scientists have noticed that the sun is getting dimmer, not dramatically, not overnight, but slowly, steadily, undeniably. The measurements keep coming back the same way. The sun is losing energy, and if it keeps going, within 30 years, the Earth will enter a catastrophic ice age. Crops will fail, temperatures will collapse, most life on the planet will not survive it. Scientists track down the cause. A microscopic, single-celled organism, later named astrophage, is feeding on the sun. It absorbs the sun's energy, breeds on Venus, and migrates back and forth between the two. It is invisible to most instruments. It is nearly impossible to stop. And it is not just targeting our sun. It has infected almost every nearby star in the galaxy. Almost every star, but not all of them. One star, a sun called Tau Ceti, has not dimmed. Something in that system is resisting the astrophage. Something is keeping it under control. And if scientists can figure out what that something is, they might be able to save the Earth. An international effort is launched. Resources from every country on the planet are pooled together under a no-nonsense administrator named Eva Stratt, a woman with the authority to do whatever it takes. A ship is built, the Hail Mary, designed to travel to Tau Ceti and investigate, but there is a terrible catch. There is only enough astrophage fuel for a one-way trip. Whoever goes is not coming back. The mission is a suicide run. The crew will send their findings back to Earth using small, unmanned probes, and then they will be gone. A science teacher named Ryland Grace is brought into the project to help train the crew. He is smart, unconventional, and genuinely passionate about finding an answer. But when he is told he has to go on the mission himself, he refuses. He does not want to die alone in deep space. He says no. So Stratt has him drugged, put on the ship, and launched into the void against his will. And that is how Ryland Grace ends up waking up alone in a strange room with no memory of any of this. His memories come back slowly, in pieces, flashes of the laboratory, Stratt's face, the mission briefing, the other 2 crew members who were supposed to be there with him, both now dead from what appears to be radiation sickness they developed during the journey. Grace is the only one left, the only human being within light years of anyone else, and Tau Ceti is right outside the window. He pulls himself together. He starts running tests on the ship. He starts thinking like a scientist, and piece by piece, he begins to understand what he is looking at. The astrophage, the Petrova line, a faint trail of light created by the organisms as they travel through space, the way they work, the way they feed. His memory fills in more each day as he works, and slowly, a plan starts to form. But before he can get very far, something unexpected appears on his radar. Grace watches it approach with a combination of fascination and terror. The ship is made of solid xenonite, a material he has never encountered before. It docks with the Hail Mary, and out of it comes something that is absolutely not human. A creature. 5 legs, rock-like skin, no eyes. It moves by sensing vibrations, by echolocation, like a bat navigating in the dark. Grace stares at it. It stares back at him in its own way, and then it starts making sounds. Musical, chord-like, complex. A language unlike anything Grace has ever heard. He names it Rocky, after Rocky Balboa, partly because of the rocky appearance, partly because, like the boxer, this creature seems like someone who keeps getting up no matter what. Rocky cannot survive in Grace's atmosphere. Grace cannot survive in Rocky's. So they communicate through a transparent barrier, Rocky wearing a small pressurized ball of xenonite as a kind of spacesuit when he enters Grace's side of the ship. And Grace, with the mind of a scientist and the creativity of someone who has nothing left to lose, builds a translation system using mathematics and musical patterns. Slowly, the 2 of them begin to talk. What Grace finds out changes everything. Rocky is from a star system called 40 Eridani. His planet, which Grace calls Arid, is also being threatened by astrophage. Rocky was sent on exactly the same kind of mission as Grace. He has been in the Tau Ceti system for 46 Earth years, the sole survivor of his own crew. 2 beings from completely different worlds, both sent alone on suicide missions to solve the same problem. Both the last ones standing, both completely alone. Until now, Grace and Rocky work together. 2 scientists from 2 different species, combining their knowledge, filling in each other's gaps. each understanding things the other does not. Grace knows about physics and biology in ways Rocky does not. Rocky is a mechanical genius who can build and fix almost anything in ways that leave Grace completely amazed. Together, they follow the Petrova line to a planet in the Tau Ceti system, a planet Grace names Adrian after Rocky Balboa's wife. And on Adrian, in its upper atmosphere, they find what they came looking for, a tiny organism that feeds on astrophage. It keeps the astrophage population under control. This is why Tau Ceti has not dimmed. This organism, which Grace names Tamuba, is the answer, the cure, the thing that could save both their worlds. But getting it working, breeding it to survive the conditions on both their planets, is not simple. It takes time, careful work, trial and error. Rocky and Grace spend weeks on it, working side by side through a transparent barrier, building something together that neither of them could have done alone. And along the way, something remarkable happens. They become friends, real friends, the kind that only form between people who have faced something impossible together and come out the other side still standing. Then comes the moment that threatens to break everything. Grace discovers something while preparing to head home. The Taumoba he has been breeding has accidentally developed the ability to eat through xenonite. Rocky's ship, the Blippa, is made almost entirely of xenonite. If Grace sends Rocky home with the Taumoba farms, the organisms will eat through his fuel supply and leave him stranded in space. Rocky will die. Grace has a choice. Go home and save Earth but leave his friend to die, or stay behind and save Rocky knowing that he will never see Earth again. He will live out the rest of his life on a planet where the food is toxic to humans. He will die there, alone, but Rocky will live, and both their planets will have the cure they need. Grace thinks about it, and then he makes his choice. He sends the unmanned probes back to Earth, each one carrying Tamuba farms and detailed instructions on how to use them to save the sun. And then, instead of heading home, he goes looking for Rocky's ship. He finds it. He rescues Rocky. Rocky is alive, and when he realizes what Grace has done, what Grace has given up to save him, the reaction from this rock-like creature from another world is one of the most moving things in the film. Rocky points out something Grace had not considered. Tamoba can be eaten. It is harmless to humans. Grace might be able to survive on Arid by eating it. It is not a guarantee, but it is a chance. They go their separate ways. Rocky heading back to Arid, carrying the cure for his world. Grace heading to Arid too, heading toward a life he never expected, on a planet he has never seen, with a friend who is unlike anything the universe had ever introduced him to before. And that is Project Hail Mary.